Now look at this. How do you write a SQL query? Please mute your mic, Vaishalini. Please mute your mic. Right. Okay. Now let us go back to the child to parent. I have a parent. I have a child here. Parent and child. Both of them are connected by a lookup or a master detail. Now both of them are connected by a lookup or a master detail. I have a parent field 1. Child field 1. So we have R field. R field. When I say R field, it is a lookup or a master detail. It is a lookup or a master detail. R field. R field. It is a lookup or a master detail. When you say R field, it is a lookup or a master detail. Both these objects are connected because of this field. Both these objects are connected because of this field. Both these objects are connected because of this field. Now, who created this field? Is it a standard relation or a custom relation? Who created this relation? Let us assume the lookup field was a standard field. If the lookup field was a standard field, how do you write a SQL query to get the child data along with the parent? Using one lookup, child can refer to how many parents? Using one lookup, child can refer to how many parents? Using one lookup, child can refer to only one parent. Using a lookup, child can refer to only one parent. Using a master detail, child can refer to only one parent. Are you getting my point? One lookup field will refer to only one parent. Child is trying to retrieve its parent data. Child is trying to retrieve its parent data. Child is trying to retrieve its parent data. Right, boss? Look at the format. R field dot this is what we got here. R field. How we are writing a query? Select child field 1, child field 2, comma, R field dot parent field 1, R field dot parent field 2. Whatever the lookup field is there, that lookup field name dot parent field 1, lookup field name dot parent field 2 from child. Are you getting my point here? Okay. Let me give you. Account and contact. Who established the connection? Account and contact. Salesforce established. If you go to that, customize. Go to accounts, contacts. Go to the contacts. In the contacts, I have fields here. What is the name of the field? Name of the field is a lookup. Now, how you write the query? Look at the format. Now, what is the name of the lookup field? It's an account. Select last name, first name, comma, account dot name, account dot industry from contact. So get the contact data along with the corresponding parent record. Get the contact data along with the corresponding parent record. I am writing account not because I am retrieving the account data, because it's a name of the field. The name of the lookup field is account. Name of the lookup field is account. That is the reason I am writing this. Name of the lookup field is account. Right. Look at the format again. Account and opportunity. Account and opportunity. Who created the relation? Salesforce created the relation. How you write the query? Select ID, comma, name, comma, amount. Opportunity. This is how we are taking. So account dot name, account dot phone from opportunity. So it is a child to parent SQL query. 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 Right. Then write a SQL query. If it is a custom object, it is a custom relation. If the relation is a custom relation, then the query is going to be in this format. List of child. Or field order. Select child field 1, child field 2, or field underscore underscore R. If the lookup field is a custom field, this is how we are giving. If the lookup field is a custom field, this is how we are giving. Then let us take account and payment. On the payment object, I have a lookup field called customer. Now write the query. What is the name of the lookup field? Customer. Name of the lookup field is customer. Now you write it. Mode on a dot. It's not a customer, it's a payment, right? From payment. Here the name of the lookup field is customer. So if it is a custom relation, this is how we are going to create. If it is a custom relation, let's go to the next one. Now assume now both of them are connected by now write the query. Now write a query between loan and payment, where payment is a child, loan is the parent. Now write the query on this.
Satish, one doubt.
Yes.
In case of lookup, there is nothing like parent and child, right? So how do we differentiate there?
Lookup will be defined on which object, Amma? Lookup will be defined on the child object only, no? Lookup field will be created where? On the child object only, no?
Yeah.
That's how we find it. I told payment object I have a field called loan data, which is a lookup. So the payment becomes a child.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you are good with this example. Okay. So this is to fetch the data, child to parent data. This is to fetch the child to parent data. This is to fetch child to parent data. In the last class we have seen parent to child. This is to child to parent. Right, boss? Now, let us go to the next example here. My requirement is try to understand my requirement. Try to understand my requirement. Fetching the data. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this example. Okay. People have followed this. Child to parent. Okay. Next we have aggregate functions. How do you perform aggregate operation? Generally, aggregate functions means what? What do you mean by aggregate function? Sum, min, max, average. Sum, min, max, average. Sum, min, max, average. Same thing will be applied here. Aggregate functions are used for sum, min, max, average. Now look at the point here. First we have count. This is written count of number of records. Count. This will written count of number of records written by the SOCPL. How we give integer count equal to select count from account where industry equal to it is going to give you what? Count of number of records whose industry is banking. It is going to give you count of number of records whose industry equal to banking. Count of number of records whose industry is banking. Count of number of records whose industry is banking. Count of number of records whose industry is banking. Now, let us take the next one. Example. Write the query. Fetch the count of number of whose stage name is. Write the query. Fetch the count of number of records whose stage name is closed one. Fetch the count of number of records whose stage name is closed one. Right, next one. Count of field. If you are using aggregate functions, if you are using aggregate functions in the SOCPL query, if you are using aggregate functions in the SOCPL query, if you are using aggregate functions in the SOCPL query, if you are using aggregate functions in the SOCPL query, this will return the result in the form of aggregate result. If you are using aggregate function in the SQL query, this will return the result in the form of aggregate result. If you are using aggregate functions in the SQL query, this will return the result in the form of aggregate result. If you are using aggregate function in the SQL query, this will return the result in the form of aggregate result. And what we do here? Generally, when you write a SQL query, what we are going to get? List of SOBs. But here we are going to get aggregate result. Aggregate result, select count of rating from account. What is the meaning of count of rating? It will return you number of records in which rating value is entered. It is going to return you count of number of records in which a rating value is entered. It is going to return you count of number of records in which a rating value is entered. It is going to return you count of number of records in which rating value is entered. Count of number of records in which rating value is entered. Count of number of records in which rating value is entered. So look at the format. Select name count of rating, execute. So look at this. Now how much you got again? Count of rating. There are only 7 records in which rating value is entered. How many results we got? Only one result. What is the result? Aggregate result. Now if we give select count from account, number of account records are fetched. How many records came? 12 records. Out of 12, in how many records rating value is entered? There are 7 records. Count of field, if you give, it is going to return you count of number of records in which this field value is entered. Count of number of records in which the field value is entered. Count of number of records in which the field name is entered. Count of number of records in which the field name is entered. Count of number of records in which the field name is entered. Count of number of records in which the field name is entered. Count of number of records in which the field name is entered. Right. So if you give this aggregate result. Now what is this aggregate result? Try to understand this. Now try to get my point. In how many ways we can create a record, boss? Account ACC equal to new account. This is one way. What is the other way? I can also give like this. ACC dot put now what was that? Account ACC dot put name ACC dot put name Wipro phone 040. Both are same. Both are same. Now we are putting the data into the, now what is this? Creating an account record. The how we are creating acc.name, acc.phone, acc.industry. In similar way, I am also creating the record. Both are same. Both are same. What is the both? Creating a record called acc. Creating a record called acc. Creating a record called acc. Now, if you are putting the data in this format, how do you get it? If I want to print the data, system.debug acc.name. Same, I can also do it like this. System.debug acc.getOff. When you're putting in the form of map, right? Put field name comma value. When you're getting also, we can get like acc.getOff field name. If you say acc.getOff field name, it is going to give you the value of that field. Did the people follow these 2 points? Anyone has any query on that? Clear? Okay. Now, why did we discuss this point? Aggregate result is an object. Aggregate result is one of the standard table in which the aggregate results will be stored. Now, if you want to get the data, what we do? Result dot get off field name. If you are getting a aggregate result, if I want to get the value, how I will do it? Look at the point. Count of rating, we are supposed to give alias value. Give size. It is going to be integer. Count equal to integer. First I'll give result dot get off. Now when I give result dot get off size, we are not sure what type of value we are going to get. In the aggregate result, we may get integer value, we may get a string value, we may get a decimal value, we may get a date value. We are not sure. The aggregate result can give you integer or a decimal or a string or a date. I am not sure. When you are not sure what type of data you are going to get, when you are not sure what type of data you are going to get, when you are not sure what type of data we are going to get, what is the data type you have to take? Object. If you know it's an integer, we will take integer. If you know it's a decimal, we take decimal. If you know it's a string, we will take string. When you are not sure what type of data we are going to get, when you are not sure what type of data we are going to get, when you are not sure what type of data we are going to get, then we are going to take what? Then we are going to take object, which is a neutral format. When you want to use the object, what I will do? Convert the object into corresponding format and use it. So convert the object in the form of string. Did you get my point? Aggregate result is a standard object. Aggregate result is a standard object. When you are writing a SQL query with aggregate function, we get the result in the form of aggregate result. When you are writing a SQL query with aggregate function, we are going to get the result in the form of aggregate result. Now, read the data from aggregate result. When you want to read the data, whatever the aggregate functions you have used, what are the aggregate functions, right? From those aggregate functions, take the data and display it. Are you getting my point? Okay. Next we have sum. This is written summarized value of sum of field. This will give summarized value of given field. This will return maximum value of given field. This will return minimum value of given field. Sum, min, max, average. Sum of field, max of field, min of field, average of field. Sum of field, max of field, min of field, average of field. Sum, min, max, average. Sum, min, max, average. This will return summarized value of given field. This will return maximum value. This will return minimum value. This will return average value. Right. So let us go to the next one. I hope you are good with this. Let us take the example.
I have, I have a
Yes.
doubt here.
Right.
Count always return the number of records present in that field, correct?
Count will give number of records in which the value of this field is entered.
Yeah. So it always return an integer, correct?
Yeah. This will give integer. This will give you count of number of records. This will give you aggregate result. Count of field is different. Count is different. Count will give you integer value. Count of field will give you a different format. Count will give you integer value. Count will give you integer value. Count of field will give you aggregate result.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Let's go to the next one. So look at the format. Let us go to the next one. Let me make you an example. I was supposed to give alias name. From opportunity. Then how we are going to take? Sum equal to decimal result dot get off get the data. Then try to display it. Look at this code. Anyone has any query? Go ahead. Aggregate function I have taken. Okay. Decimal result dot get off. I gave this name. See, this is my. You mean to say variable names? My choice. The names are my choice. It's a variable, right? These names are mandatory. Whatever the name I gave here, those I have to use. These are my choice. Look at the code. Anyone has any queries, let me know. Anyone has any queries, let me know.
Satish,
Yes,
now in this example, when we get the result, okay, we have to
I'm
use
not getting. Can you please repeat the question?
okay. Now when we query this result, okay, we have got total and we have got these names assigned, okay. So this if we don't decide the type of
See,
for some we have to find assembly.
anything
And
you are getting is going to be in the form of object. All of them will give a result in the form of object, but we need to convert them into corresponding data type. Why? Because, please mute your microphone. If I take min of close date, what type of value I am going to get? Then I am going to get date. Now I give here count of amount. What I am going to get here? Integer value. Now here, this will be integer in the aggregate result. Type of format is integer, decimal, date. Then how can you save that? You're not sure on which field you're going to write aggregate function. You're not sure on which field you're going to write aggregate function. Then what type of data I'm going to get? I'm not sure. When you're not sure what type of data we are going to get, what is the format I have to take? Object. Now just now I gave min of close date. It is going to give you date value. Max of close date. It will give you date value. Sum of amount. It will give you currency value. Count of field name. It will give you integer value. So I am not sure what type of result you are going to get. To support any type of field, we are taking what? To support any type of result. To support any type of result, we are taking what? Object. But while using, I cannot use it as an object. So I have to typecast to original format and use. What is this format called? Typecast. I hope you are good with this.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you.
Now look at this execution.
If we have only one aggregate function also, do we need to use this?
Any aggregate function, SOCPAL with aggregate function will give you aggregate result. SOCPAL with aggregate function will give you aggregate result. You may use one aggregate function or two aggregate function or combination. But if you have aggregate function, it is going to give you aggregate result. Right, boss? So this is how we got the value. But the problem here is, look at the point. Now whatever the query I wrote, entire data we are getting as one single set. Entire. I am getting all the data, on the all data sum, on the all data max, on the all data min, on the all data average. But now the problem is, I don't want to make all the records into one set. I want to group them as per the stage name. When I say group them by stage name, what will happen? Every group will have its own sum, every group will have its own minimum, every group will have its own maximum. Group by. So when I say group by, I will not get a single, I will get what? For every group, I am going to get one aggregate. For every group, I am going to get one result. For a group 1, max, min, sum, average. Then what I was supposed to do? We are taking this. Here I am giving stage name. Now I got stage name, which is in the form of string. Now look at this. What happened? Because you have applied a group by, we are going to get a multiple number of groups. For every group separate, for every group we are going to get separate values. For every group we are going to get a separate values. Execute it. So look at this, I'll give started. This is very good. Stage prospecting, sum, max, min, average, qualification. For every stage, we are getting separate result. So if you are applying a group by class, we are going to get a separate set of aggregated function. Separate set of aggregated function for every group. Are you getting my point? So what are these aggregated function? Count, sum, min, max, average. Whenever we are writing a SQL query with aggregated function, whenever we are writing a SQL query with aggregate function, it is going to give you result in the form of aggregate result. Whenever we are going to write a SQL query with aggregate function, whenever we are going to write a SQL query with aggregate function, it is going to give you result in the form of aggregate result. Now in the aggregate result, everything is going to be in the form of object. Now we need to typecast it and use it. We have to typecast it and use it. Have you followed this? Okay. Write a SQL query on account object and get the sum, min, max, average of annual revenue. Write a SQL query on account to get min, max, average, sum. Same story, make it with respect to.
Satish, I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
You put a for loop, in that for loop, you have put a result, right? Aggregate result is equal to result. Is that a keyword?
It's a
Or
variable.
we can use
It's a variable.
R or something.
It's a variable.
Variable is fine. Same variable where you are using here and down.
Now,
The result is
see,
here
Baba,
only we use, right?
how you write a for loop?
Yeah, I know. We can
Yeah.
use instead of result.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait for a minute. Let me complete. Now, did you use A anywhere else?
Uh,
How you are
yes,
taking? How
A
you are
is a
taking?
variable there.
Here also, aggregate result is a variable.
Okay, but that A we use it as like A dot something we use in the other formats, right?
That's
Here it is using
it's an
result.
object. Here we are using a get.
Yeah.
No? Result dot get only. No. What are you using here? Result dot get. Now I told you you can use a dot name, or I told you can use a dot get of name.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Now, right, I hope you are good with this. Now the point here is, if you want to query any field, it should be a part of aggregate result, aggregate function, or group by class. If you want to query any field, it should be either a part of aggregate function, or it should be a part of aggregate function or group by. Either it should be a part of aggregate function or group by. So let us take this example. Here I am taking name. Name is not used in aggregate functions. Name is not used in aggregate functions. Name is not used in group by class. Name I want to query, it is not a part of aggregate functions, or it is not a part of group by. So when you execute it, we get here. Field must be grouped or aggregated. So whatever the field you want to query, either the field should be a part of aggregate function or group by. Whatever the field you want to query, that field should be either a part of aggregate function or a group by. Whatever the field you want to query, that should be either a part of aggregate function or a group by. Right, boss. I hope you are good with this. SQL query with aggregate functions. Okay. Next one we have date keywords. What are the date keywords we have? Let me give you. Have you followed this point? Am I clear with the aggregate functions? Now look at this. Date literals. These are the keywords which are used. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, last week, this week, next week, last month, this month, next month, last 90 days, next 90 days, last n days, next n days. All these are literals. All these are literals. Let me give you some of the functionalities here. Fetch all the new leads created yesterday. What I'm going to give. Where created it equal to get me the list of leads which are created yesterday. Fetch all the opportunities closed this week. Now, how did you write this? Close date equal to today. Then last week, this week, next week, fetch all the leads created in the last week. Fetch all the opportunities closed in next week. Now write these two queries. So we have a fixture of keywords. All these are called keywords. All these are called keywords. Fetch all the leads created in the last week. Fetch all the opportunities closed date in next week. Right, boss. Let us go to the next one. We used these date functions, date literals. Next we have n weeks. Next n weeks, last n weeks. How do you do this? Fetch all the accounts last 3 weeks. Now you get it. Last 3 weeks. Get all the accounts which are created in the last 3 weeks. Similarly, we have years, months, quarter, financial year, everything will be given here.
Satish, I have a question.
Yes. Yes.
Is there any way we can wildcard select from a table instead of giving all the columns?
No, no. There's no such type of thing. You are supposed to give everything.
Oh, thank you.
Right. Now, let us say next one. I hope you are good with this format. Let us go to the next. People have followed this. Right, boss? Now, similarly, we have the date functions. These are the date literals what we had. So we can find out next month, last 10 days, next year, next 10 weeks, last 10 months, this quarter, last quarter, next quarter. We got the data. Last year, this year. All these are date literals. Similarly, we have functions. Date functions are also there. Let us see the date functions. Right. Now, I want to get all the records which are created in the 5th of every month. I want to get all the records which are created on the 10th of every year. Every year on 10th day. So we are going to give day in the month. Created on 10th of every month. What I will do? Where day in month fetch all the records which are created on 10th of every month. Get all the records which are created on 10th of every month. Get all the records which are created on 10th of every month. Then so write this query. So these are fixed functionality was, just look at them. Fetch all the leads whose created date equal to 100. Similarly, we have other functionalities here. Then we have finance month, week in the month, week in the year. Get me all the records which are created on the second week. So created in the second week of. Fetch all the opportunities which are created in the second week of month. So like this we are going to specify. So we have some predefined date functions and we have some predefined date literals. Using those date functions and date literals, we are going to perform the operation. We have some date literals and date functions. Using these date literals and date functions, we are going to perform this action. I hope you are good with this. People are good with this, right? So we are trying to write the SOQL. Basically, what is the purpose of a SOQL? SOQL is used to retrieve the data. If you want to retrieve the data, then we go for a SOQL. If you want to retrieve the data, we will go for a SOQL. Whenever we want to retrieve the data, we will go for a SOQL. What type of data can be retrieved? Data can be from the object or its parent object or from the corresponding child object. I can retrieve the data from the parent object, child object or the corresponding object. Now if you are writing a parent to, if you want to retrieve child to parent, parent to child. Any SOQL that we write, maximum it can give you up to how many records? 50,000 records. Any SOQL that you write, it can give you maximum up to 50,000 records. Any SOQL that you write, maximum it can give you up to 50,000 records. Any SOQL query that you write, maximum it can give you up to 50,000 records. Apart from this, we have aggregate function. What are those aggregate function? Count, sum, min, max, average. When you write an aggregate function, result is going to be in the form of aggregate result. Now in the aggregate result, everything will be coming in the form of aggregate result. So we need to perform a typecasting, get the result. Everything will be coming in the form of aggregate result. We need to get it. Similarly, we have some date literals, date functions. Go through the standard functionalities, apply whatever the keyword you want. Right, boss? Okay. Then we need to look at dynamic queries. We'll continue with the dynamic queries tomorrow. We'll wind up for the day. We'll continue with the dynamic queries tomorrow.
Sir, are we going to discuss social as well?
Pardon me?
Social queries.
I'll not yet completed. No course.
Okay.
Sir,